Today, we're diving into an ancient prophecy that carries a really powerful message of justice. It's a message aimed squarely at one of history's most brutal and what seemed like an untouchable empire. It's a question that just echoes through history. What actually happens when a world power seems too big to fail, too cruel to even challenge, and its wickedness just goes completely unchecked? Well, an ancient text gives us a pretty powerful answer, and it's packed into a short but incredibly potent collection of poems, the Old Testament's Book of Nahum. Now, to really feel the weight of this prophecy, we first need to meet the villain of our story, the Assyrian Empire. So, the Assyrians, they weren't just some regional power, they were an absolute dominant force. And for the neighboring kingdoms of Israel and Judah, they were the ultimate oppressor. They built this terrifying reputation on overwhelming military might and just extreme cruelty towards anyone they conquered. And right at the heart of this empire was its magnificent and feared capital, Nineveh, a city that became the symbol of all the corrupt power and injustice that was plaguing the region. It's against this whole backdrop of oppression that a prophet named Nahum comes along and delivers a truly stunning message. The Book of Nahum isn't some long, sprawling story. It's really focused, it's poetic, and it's a declaration. Its entire purpose is to announce God's divine judgment against the city of Nineveh. Yeah, there's no ambiguity in this message at all. The prophecy makes this direct and, frankly, stunning claim. Nineveh's downfall isn't going to be some random accident of history, but a direct consequence of its own wickedness and violent oppression. So what was the justification for such a fierce judgment? Well, the Book of Nahum lays out a case that's rooted in a very specific understanding of divine character. What we see here in the Book of Nahum is this powerful duality. On one hand, you have a deep commitment to justice, where evil and oppression absolutely will not be ignored. But on the other, there's a promise of mercy and refuge for those who are suffering, like the people of Judah. So it's a message of both accountability for the powerful and protection for the vulnerable. Okay, so a prophecy is one thing, but history is another. So what actually happened to this supposedly unstoppable city of Nineveh? This date. This is the historical linchpin. Because in 612 BCE, the seemingly invincible capital of the Assyrian Empire fell. So this is the complete arc of the story. It all starts with that long, brutal period of Assyrian oppression. Then it's followed by Nahum's incredibly bold prophecy, and it all concludes with a verifiable historical event, the complete and total destruction of Nineveh. And we have to remember who this message was really for. To the Assyrians, it was a warning of absolute doom. But for the people of Judah, who had suffered for so long, this prophecy wasn't about destruction, it was about deliverance. It was a message of profound hope and comfort that their oppressor would finally face justice. So, why does a 2,600-year-old poem still matter today? Well, because its central themes are, you guessed it, timeless. The Book of Nahum really offers three lasting insights. First, that no empire, no matter how powerful it seems, is above accountability. Second, it serves as this powerful example of the idea of cosmic justice. And third, it provides a universal message of hope for anyone who lives under oppression. Ultimately, the Book of Nahum is so much more than just the story of a city's fall. It's really a window into these larger ideas about how justice and righteousness might operate on the grand scale of nations in all of history. And all this leaves us with a final and pretty crucial question. If the story of Nahum is about an ancient empire being held accountable for its actions, what does it say to us now? How do these ancient ideas of justice, accountability, and hope apply to the structures of power that shape our world today?